This is Dale of Top Gun Dog Training. Today I want to talk about how I potty trained Dixie in one day. As a dog trainer, I get called to, solve a lot of behavior issues and train puppies. But the number one thing that I get asked about continuously and owners have a trouble, they're struggling with is potty training. And I recently went on to Facebook and I did a search for the groups, and I just put in there puppy training advice, something like that. And of all of the groups that are out there, there's a lot of groups with a lot of people. The number one concern of all puppies is potty training. Everybody's asking everybody else how to do it, and everybody's giving different advice on how to do it. And I'll tell you, I got Dixie at the beginning of May when she was 10 weeks old, and I potty trained her in one day. She had one accident in the house the night I had her and never had an accident again. And I'm going to take you through how I did it. So I've also wrote an article about this on my website, topgundogtraining.com. So some of the links I'm going to refer to that reference this topic, I've written many articles about this, and there's three other links that you want to check out on my website. It's called The 6 Steps to Training Potty Training Your Puppy, Why Pee Pads Are a Bad Idea, and a itinerary, which is a schedule for a new puppy, what they should be doing all day, how you should manage their schedule. So starting off with that topic of Facebook, that everybody's an expert but nobody really knows, because everybody's giving advice on potty training, but it's still a major issue for a lot of people. So here's how I did it with Dixie. Very simple. I got her home, and it was in the afternoon around 12 o'clock, and I took her outside every hour. And as I took her outside at 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, I took the whole day off. And in the evening, she started to go potty outside, and I praised her. But in the evening, she went potty right next to her water bowl that evening, about 8 o'clock. And I took her out again. I didn't do anything. I just cleaned it up, took her out again. And in the middle of the night, that first night, I got up at 2 o'clock in the morning, took her outside. 5 o'clock, took her outside. Every hour after that, took her outside. And when she went outside and she peed and pooped, I praised her. I had a party. I congratulated her. Good girl. Dixie, that's so good. I pet her, and I made her understand and associate that this is the behavior that I want. But I never reprimanded her. I never scolded her for going inside that one time. I never made a big deal about it. All I did was focus on what I wanted, not on what I didn't want. The next thing I did was I crated her when she was in the house for the first week with me, unless she was absolutely right next to me and not moving around, chewing a toy or a bully stick or something like that. She could not leave my side because I had a leash on her, and I had her tethered to me. So I would not let her roam around the house and have an accident everywhere. Because once a dog begins to have accidents in the house, they're going to associate that that's what they should be doing. So I never gave her that opportunity after the first night. So from the second day on, I took her outside. And let me tell you something. I live in the 5th floor of a condo. So I have to take her down a hallway to an elevator, down the elevator, down another long hallway, through a parking lot, to grass, and get her to go potty on the grass. It's not easy as if you have a house in the front yard where you can just take her right outside and plop her down. She had to go through all of this and hold it all the way to the grass. And she did it every single time after the first night. Now, she had a few accidents in the house when she got excited. That's not a result of potty training. That's a result of excitement, puppy excitement. All puppies have that. That doesn't mean that they're not potty trained. Potty trained means that they go outside. They're trained to go on grass, in my opinion, not pee pads. We'll get to that in a second. So that's how I did it with her. I have a very strict schedule. I got up in the morning. First thing I did, took her outside. And I still do this. Take her outside right away. I don't do anything else. I don't get coffee. I don't do anything. I don't go to the bathroom. I just put on clothes and go outside. Take her outside, go potty, bring her back in. Then I make my coffee and do things for myself and feed her. And I put her in a strict schedule. After that, I put her in a crate. I take a shower. I do some things. Take her back out again 2 hours later. Maybe I'll do some training with her or play with her a little bit. Put her back in a crate. And now she's 8 months old, and I still have this same routine for her because she's not able to go roam around in the house when I'm not here. She'll chew up everything. She's already chewed some power cords and computer cables and things like that, so I don't trust her. She's not old enough yet. She hasn't matured enough. So she goes in the crate, and if I'm gone for a long period of time, I have a dog walker. The dog walker comes after no more than 3 hours, and she's 8 months old now. She can hold it for a long time, but 3 hours. Dog walker comes, takes her outside, comes back. In another 3 hours, usually I'm back by then. I'm usually gone for 6 to 8 hours, at a time. And that has worked very well. And at night, I keep her next to me. I don't let her roam around. She plays with the toys. She eats food. She does training. She's always right next to me. If I can't keep her next to me, she's in the crate. At night, she sleeps in my bed. I know where she is. I know what she's doing. She's sleeping. So she's not roaming around the house. She's not peeing or pooping in the crate. She's not whining. She's not crying. She's not barking. Nothing. She's very, very strict schedule. And that's how it's done. Now, a couple of things. I have some notes here because on the article it's very detailed. What about pee pads? Pee pads are a bad idea. I just don't understand why pee pads were ever invented. You're training your dog to go potty in the house. And then you're trying to teach them to go outside, so they're confused. Only way you can resolve the issue with pee pads is to throw them away and start over with the first step. Dixie, leave it. Dixie, leave it. She's sitting here in front of me. The only way you can resolve that is to start over with, in my 6 steps, that is going to be linked at the bottom of this video and on my website, is keep the dog confined to very small. Dixie, leave it. Thank you. And you have to start with that step of confining your dog and not letting them have opportunities to go in the house. And so that's why pee pads are a bad idea. Playpens. Playpens are a bad idea for puppies that aren't potty trained, and the reason is because they have too much freedom. They have too much freedom. They're going to roam around too much. I've seen people with playpens in their whole kitchen, in their house, around their whole dining room area. It's just a bad idea until they're potty trained. Potty train them in a small crate. Get them in a small crate, just big enough for them to sit and lie down. With Dixie, I've had to go through 3 sizes. As she grew, I had to get a bigger crate, and I just donated the older crates to a client or a friend. And that's not a big deal. Crates are about, $20 to $50. They're really not that expensive, a black wire crate. And in the crate, you want to have it just underneath, nothing there. No pillows, no blankets, no bed, so they won't, urinate in that and smell it. And that's what dogs will really do a lot of times if you do that. So you want to keep the crate just blank, just the black plastic piece. And, crate training is really the only way you're going to get your dog to be potty trained quickly. So a lot of people say, well, I don't put my dog in a crate. I'm not going to cage my dog. They call it a cage. I'm not going to cage my dog. It's not punishment. It's a crate. It's confinement so that you can manage and potty train and house train the dog. It's really that simple. I've done many videos and articles on this already. What about a doggy doorbell? People have asked. And those are great. I do use those with a lot of clients. You have to teach Dixie, leave it. You have to teach the dog to do the touch command where their nose or paw touches your hand. Then you have to have them touch the bell. If it's a string of bells or an electronic doorbell, you have to have that nose touch the doorbell. And then they have to associate that touching that means you're going to open the door and let them outside. The challenge with that at the beginning is that the dog touches it whenever it wants to go outside, whether it needs to go potty or not. So then you have to do further training with that. They're only going to go outside when they touch that if they absolutely have to go potty. And this could take, several weeks. But that's a great idea. I don't use them for my dog. I live in an apartment. I don't want the sounds here. And I find it not necessary with my training methods the way I do, to be honest. What if your puppy has already learned to go inside? What if you spent 2 months potty training your dog on pee pads and you want to transfer that outside? Or your dog's just pottying all over the inside of the house, and the dog, I've seen dogs that are a year old or more that were never potty trained from the beginning, that have been doing this for months and months and months, potty training inside, going potty inside. Well, you're going to have to, my general rule is if the dog has been going potty inside for 6 months, it's going to take another 6 months to reverse that. You're going to have to spend a significant amount of time to changing the association of the puppy going inside to going outside, and the limit and stopping them from going inside. You got to go back to step number 1, which is confining your dog, confining your puppy, so that they don't have the opportunity to make accidents. Because if they have opportunity to make accidents, they're going to make accidents. They're going to do that. And that's a bad thing. That's not going to help the situation at all. So that's basically it. This is how I have potty trained Dixie in one day. And this is the advice that I give my clients. And I have found it to be this way. The puppy gets trained quickly and the owners have great success with it right off the bat. Or it takes a significant amount of time, and or the puppy never properly gets potty trained ever. And it's either black or white. It's either one or the other. I never see any middle ground there. It's never, well, they're sort of potty trained. They're either potty trained or they're not potty trained from what I've seen. So I hope this information helps you. If you have any questions, reach out. I'll do the best I can to give you any advice I can on potty training your puppy as quickly as you can, because I know it's a problem. Have a great day.